Hello, Cambridge. Welcome to What's That About?
Come on, Julie. Enthusiasm. Stagecraft.
From CCTV, Cambridge's best TV station. Today our topic is Cambridge universities in a time of COVID. Woo!
Woo! Well, lucky Cambridge isn't a big college town. That's a Spinal Tap joke. It's a movie. As you know, for the last 37 years, our show has been answering all your pressing questions submitted on handwritten postcards delivered by the U.S. Postal Service, which we still love, by the way, right, Julie?
We sure do, Max. Only some kind of weird fascist psycho would be trying to strangle the post office to suppress the vote.
Anyway, I have here a card from Geraldine on Massachusetts Avenue. Geraldine asks, I own a small eating and drinking establishment here in Cambridge that's very dependent on students. Can you tell me what the plan is for students returning for the fall semester?
Great question. Let's bring in our expert, Desmond Pomeroy, to discuss.
Well, it varies depending on what school.
Let me introduce you first. And now, let's bring in our roving correspondent and subject expert, Desmond Pomeroy.
I mean, what I said worked.
Mine was better.
But like I was saying, it depends. But at some of the big schools, Harvard is only having 40% of students back on campus, including all first years and those that need to be here for academic reasons. All classes are also remote.
What about those nerds at MIT?
MIT seniors and students who can't live and study elsewhere, they will return in the fall. They're not bringing anybody else back, though, until at least spring 2021. So almost all instruction will be online. And the semester will start 1 week earlier than usual, and students won't return to campus after Thanksgiving break.
Well, that gives those nerds plenty of time to build me a robot manservant to make me a sandwich whenever I want.
You know, I did my PhD thesis on the makeup of a perfect Reuben. Did I tell you that before? I did like a Monte Carlo analysis of hundreds of different sandwich combinations until I developed the perfect proportions.
That just sounds like you ate a bunch of Reubens.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, what was the perfect Reuben?
Oh, okay. Perfect Reuben. 2 slices of bread. 3 thin slices of pastrami. 2 tablespoons of sauerkraut. And a tablespoon of Russian dressing.
So, a Reuben?
Yeah, so good. My thesis was rejected.
I'm sure you needed a robot manservant to make it, obviously.
Anyway, let's get back to the schools. It sounds like they're going to have some students back, but classes are going to be remote. Do they think they're going to be able to keep the campuses safe?
Yeah, they do, Julie. I mean, as of today, all tough students are coming back with some modifications to the dorms. And other schools are renting out hotel rooms. Dining halls are going to be takeout, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of stuff. BU is actually letting any student back who wants to come. But they also just announced last week if a student dies in their last semester, they'll still be awarded a diploma. So that's nice.
Really?
Wait a minute. Are returning students going to infect Cambridge residents like a bunch of fratty typhoid Marys?
Well, my very good friend in the Boston City Council, Kinsey Bach, said she's not convinced universities have instituted sufficient procedures to deal with the influx of students from outside the area. She wants schools to operate fully remote and let out-of-town students stay home. This was before BU said they'd give dead kids diplomas, though, so maybe that'll make her feel better.
Well, what about Geraldine on Mass Ave's question? If students stay home, what effect is this going to have on local businesses?
More importantly for Geraldine, who's going to buy beer? Except for me.
Well, even with some students coming back, they're still talking less than 40% of the typical population. And even then, they're probably not going to be out drinking in bars like you, Max, or shopping as much, even if they are allowed to. So small Cambridge business owners like Geraldine are just not going to be seeing anywhere close to the normal revenues, especially towards winter as outdoor dining and things like that look less attractive.
Ouch.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah. I mean, so small business owners like Geraldine are still going to need support from the government and the community. Otherwise, they're going to go out of business, and more people are going to end up in unemployment, costing the government more and more stupid banks and cell phone outlets are going to move into the empty spaces.
Right. Just in the last few weeks, we've lost the Field, the Cantab, Flat Top Johnny's, the Automatic, Bukowski's, and that's all before the fall even begins.
I hate banks. What can we do, Special Agent Pomeroy? What can we do?
Well, we can get our local, state, and federal politicians to get off their butts and actually do something, right? Call them up, write them emails. If they're already trying to help, let them know we support them. And if they're not, we need to work to elect somebody else.
Well, shoot, I will. I'll make sure I mail off a bunch of letters using the U.S. Postal. Oh, wait.
Yeah, we got to write them about funding the postal system too, I guess.
Well, now I'm depressed.
Yeah. I'm sorry, bud. I'll talk to you soon.
Well, that's all the time we have for today.
What?
Aren't you going to do your sign-off?
Nah, you said it's no good.
I mean, it's not that bad. Maybe it'll make you feel better?
Really?
Sure.
All right. Well, thanks, Geraldine from Mass Ave, and thank you, Special Agent Desmond Pomeroy. Until next week, we'll see you first. You know, I do feel better.
The economy is still screwed unless we do something, though.